So we're back with our final push to 1200. Let's see how we do. We've got white in this game, and we're going to just open with standard development. I think here we can try and get a fried liver set up, but what I like about them as well is they still have aggressive attack options, such as the EVANS GAMBIT. And here I think I'm just going to castle, saying you want to take that pawn, you can. So we've got an immediate tactic here. Bishop takes f7, queen check, and winning c5. That seems better than playing the immediate queen d5, as after queen e7, then the bishop is defended. So that's the question. Do we want to go with this, or do we want to take and build up more pressure? It's probably most prudent to take on f7, chuck in the check on d5, and then pick up. We'll still be down material here in terms of the gambited pawns, but with black's king totally misplaced, and the fact that we'll be able to recapture these ones very quickly with some quick development should be nicely helpful for us. May have made sense to flick in queen h5 check just to force g6, but we can still do that now if we want to. I think so. It looks sensible to recap here, and even though they're attacking this one, we're just going to ignore it and take on g7. Okay, here we've got quite a cool move where we can play bishop h6, and so now if queen takes, we're taking the rook. If knight takes, then the queen is undefended and we can pick up the queen. And if queen takes, we're recapturing with the queen, the bishop, and the rook is still trapped. So here, let's recapture our material. Still threatening. Just take, knight takes, and bishop here, which will win us back some material. Maybe best here for black is castling queenside, after which we can continue with that idea. Let's see. Black may be eyeing the fact that our rook on a1 is hanging, but there's no way that they can exploit this, given that our also controls this diagonal. Here, this looks like a mistake, actually, because as I just mentioned, our queen controlling that diagonal, it also controls all of the other squares along it. So we actually X-ray queen's defense of here. And yeah, we can see that's why we ended up getting a free piece. So question is whether we bank in. Not yet, I don't think. I think we should save this guy, and then on the next move, we're going to cash in. Yeah, so opponent's having a deep think here, probably trying to work out how he's managed to lose, and yeah, as we could see, it came down to dropping this piece on d4, as they didn't realize that we X-rayed the defense of that square. And yeah, so it was actually loose because he could not recapture, otherwise the queen would then be hanging. And here it looks like there isn't really a move for black, despite us only being up 1 point in material currently. There's nothing to stop against this threat of swapping off the queens and then forking the rook and knight. You see there's some last ditch attempts here. I think we take the rook, and if the pawn pushes, sacrifice our knight, so we haven't got to worry about any counterplay, and then just recapturing the knight. So our opponents hung their last rook, So we're just totally won here. We're ever losing this game. Lovely stuff. That takes us up to 1195, so edging on 1200. As you can see, this wasn't the cleanest of games, but what we focused on was keeping up the pressure against our opponent, letting those pawns be sacrificed, but instead we were displacing our opponent's king, and we were not afraid of the tactics because we have this cool move, bishop h6. Oh, interestingly, not the best. Maybe bishop b2 looks better, as we're staying along this diagonal, and it's more forcing in terms of getting their trades. Bishop h6 is a cool little pattern to remember, as that's one which will pop up. But yeah, interesting to see here that bishop b2 was more precise. Stick of that diagonal. Cool.